2013, paper 1, question 1, we are told a number m is formed by writing all the prime numbers from 0 to 10 in an ascending order. Another number n is formed by writing all the square numbers between 0 and 10 in descending order. Find m minus n. So to do that, first of all, we start with m. Our number m is, we are supposed to write the prime numbers in ascending order. So we have 2, then we have 3, we have 5, and finally we have 7. N is, we are writing formed by square numbers descending. So it means we have descending, we have 9, we have 4, and we have 1. So we have 9, 41. When you subtract, you get this is 6, you get this is 5 minus 4 is 1, and then we have 13 minus 9 is 4, then we have 1. So that is the number that you get when you subtract n from m. Number 2, we have express n minus n as a product of its prime numbers. So we can draw our diagram there and say this is our number 14, 16. We divide by 2, we will get 708. You can use your calculator to do that. You divide by 2 again, you get 354. You divide by 2 again, you get 177. And when you divide by 3, you get 59. 59 is a prime number. So we leave it like that, and we will be able to write our prime numbers. 2 cubed multiplied by 3 multiplied by 59. So that is how you do it. You get yourself 1 mark, and here you get 2 marks. Question number 2. The production of milk in liters of 14 cows on a certain day was recorded as follows. This is 22, 26, 2015, 19, 20, on and on, and 28. Determine the mode, B, the median. So for us to determine the mode is the data or the value that is occurring more times, or the highest times. So for us to be able to see that properly, it is good that we arrange our data in order. So we start with the lowest and then ascending to the highest. So looking at the data here, we can say 15 is the lowest. So we can start with 15. So that is 15. You mark like that so that you know which ones you have dealt with. So this is another 15. So we have another 15. I think we don't have another 15. We look for the next number. We have 16. So we have 16. Looking at that, we don't have another 16. We don't have 17. We don't have 18. We have 19. This one and this one. So we have 19 and 19. So we have 20. So we have 20. We have another 20 here. 20. So you be careful not to skip the numbers. Look at 21. We have 1 here. So we have 21. I don't see another 21. We look at 22. We have that one. So we have 22. We have another one here. Another 22. Another one here. So we have another 22. We don't have any other. So from 22 we go to 23. We don't have 24. We don't have 25. We don't have. We have 26. So we have 26. We have 20, no other 26. From there we have 27. So we have 27, and looking at our values, I think we only left with 28. So that is, you arrange your data in ascending order. So that will be easier for you to identify the mode. So we say the mode, you can see 22 occurs 3 times. So the mode is a value that occurs more times. So the mode is 22, and you get yourself 1 mark. The median, because this is a simple data. So what we do is, how many data do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. The median is a data that occurs in the middle. And because we have even numbers, we will take the 14 values, we will take the middle 2 and divide by 2. So we say median is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are the 2 numbers that appear in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 on this side, 6 on the other side. So we say it is 20, we add 21, and you divide by 2, and that should give you 20. This is 41, and 41 divided by 2, which is 20.5. So that is the median. So you get 2 marks. So you get 1 mark here for the working and 1 mark here for the answer. So that's how we work out that question. Question number 3. Use logarithm correct 4 decimal places to evaluate. So in this question, okay, in Form 2, you are taught how to use logarithm. So you don't, although you have a calculator, you don't use a calculator, because the examiner will be looking at how you have applied the logarithm to be able to work out this. So in this case, we will just make a table like this. So we say this is a number, this is a logarithm. So we are supposed to get the logarithm of, we can start by 1.794. Checking from your logarithm tables, you get the logarithm of this is 0. You say it is 2538. That's the logarithm of 1.794. This is 0.038. We'll move this decimal to two places, or two steps to the right. So we have that will represent bar 2 point. Then we get the logarithm of 3.8, which you get it is 0.5798. Now we put a line here, because it is multiplication. When you are using the logarithm, we add. When you add this 8 plus 8, you get 6. Carry 1, this is 4. So that will give you 13. Carry 1, 6 plus 7, that will give you 13. Carry 1, this is this will give you 3. So this is 8, and this will give you 0 plus bar 2, that will give you bar 2. Then we get 1 point. So we have 1.243. You get this from the mathematical tables. This you get direct, you get it is 0.0945. You put a line there, because we are dividing, we subtract. So this will give us 1. We borrow 1 here, you get 13, so that you get 9. Here it is 2, we borrow 1 here, you get 12, so you get 3. Here we had borrowed 1, so we are remain with 7, minus 0 remains 7. And here it is bar 2 minus 0, it is 2, bar 2 rather. Now, we can, what we do here is, let's just add an additional part here. We are supposed to get the logarithm of this number. To get the logarithm of a number, the cube root of this number, then we normally divide by 3 or multiply by a third. Now, here is where the trick is. Now, bar 2 is a negative number, and the 0.7391 is a positive number. This is a mantissa, this is a characteristic. So, what we do is we modify our number. when you multiply the number, you can say this number can be written as bar 2 plus 1.7391. The reason being, if you add bar 3 plus this is a whole number 1, it will come to bar 2. So we have not changed our number. Then because we cannot divide now bar 2 with 3, we cannot mix the two numbers. So this will give us bar 1. That is, you can write it as bar 3 divided by 3. That will give you bar 1. And then you divide this, you get 1.739. When you divide by 3, you'll be able to get 0.5797. So this will give you bar 1.5797. So this means that this is what we have, bar 1.5797. Now you get the anti-logarithm of this, and this will give you 0.3799. So that is how you get, or rather you can write it as this is 10 to bar minus 1, and this will give you multiplied by 3.799. So that's how you work out that, and you should be able to get 4 marks. So 2013 paper 1 question 4, we have to simplify the expression. So we are given 16m squared minus 9n squared all over divided by 4m squared minus mn minus 3n squared. We start with the denominator. Denominator can be written as 4m into bracket squared minus 3n into bracket squared, which is a difference of two squares. Then we divide by the denominator is a quadratic expression which has two unknowns. So we consider one unknown as a constant, which in this case we take n. So we multiply, since the coefficient of m squared is not equals to 1, so we multiply 4 multiplied by minus 3n squared, which gives you 12, which gives you minus 12n squared. Now you get two numbers. Let's say we take a plus b, should give you the coefficient of m, which is equals to minus n, since we are considering n as a constant. And when you multiply the two, a plus b should give you minus 12n squared. Now what we have, we consider the factors of minus 12, and we can say minus, let's take minus 4, and that is minus 4n and 3n. When you add minus 4 plus 3n, you get minus n. When you multiply minus 4n times 3n, you get 12 squared. So we now rewrite our expression as 4m squared minus 4mn plus 3mn minus 3n squared. So that is how you modify your expression. With that, we can now write our this is a difference of two squares, so you can write this as 4m plus 3n, close the bracket, and this is 4m minus 3n, close the bracket. We write now we factor out what is common here, so we have 4m is common, we are left with m minus n, and we factor out 3n plus 3n, that is 3n, we will be left with m minus n. So this is equals to we get to 4m plus 3n, close the bracket, you have 4m minus 3n, you divide by, we factor out m minus n, then we'll be left with 4m plus 3, you find that we can divide 4m plus 3n. This is here we have n, so we will be left with 4m minus 3n. All this is divided by m minus n, and that is the farthest you can simplify that expression. You get yourself 2 marks. Question number 5. A wholesaler sold a radio to a retailer making a profit of 20%. The retailer later sold the radio for Kenyan shilling 1,560, making a profit of 30%. Calculate the amount of money the wholesaler had paid to the radio. So we can start the reverse way. So we say we start with the retailer. So the retailer, the price that he sold was 1,560. So it means this is 130%, because he made a profit of 30%. So this means that 130% is 1,560. What about 100%? What he paid to the wholesaler? So this, you say it is 1,560. You divide by 130 and you multiply by 100. So that will give you, when you multiply that, that should give you, it should give you, this is 1, this is 126, that is 2 plus times 100, that will give you 1,200. So that is the whole the retailer. They paid the 1,200 to the wholesaler. Now we come to the wholesaler. This means that 1,200 is the same as made a profit of 120%. So this is 120. So what is 100%? What he had paid for the radio. So you just say it is 1,200. You divide by 120. You multiply by 100, and that will give you, divide by 12 is 1, divide by 12 is 10. So this is equals to, so we can say the wholesaler paid the 1,000 Kenyan shillings for the radio to make a profit of 20%. So that is how we work out that question. 2014 paper 1 question 6, we are told to simplify. So for us to be able to solve this question, we need to write 243 to the powers of 3, 125 to the powers of 5, and 9 to the powers of 3. So 243 is the same as 3 to power 5. So you can close the bracket. This is minus 2 over 5, not 3 over 5. You multiply by 125 is the same as 5 cubed, which you can put inside the bracket. We have 2 over 3. All this is divided by 3 squared into bracket minus 3 over 2. So this is equals to, when you open the bracket, we have 3, we have 5 multiplied by minus 2 over 5, multiplied by 5 to power 3, multiplied by 2 over 3. All this is divided by 3 to power 2 multiplied by minus 3 over 2. So that is equals to, so here 5 divided by 5 is 1, and here 3 divided by 3 is 1, and here 2 divided by 2 is 2. So we can have 3 to power minus 2. Here we have 3 to power minus 3. So when it comes to the numerator, it will be 3 to power 3. So we add 3 there. You multiply by 5 multiplied by 2. So this is equals to 3 multiplied by, so minus 2 plus 3 is 3 multiplied by 5 squared, that is 25, and that should give you 75. So that is how you work out that, and you get yourself 3 marks. So question number 7. Cherimo's clock loses 15 seconds every hour. She sets the correct time on the clock at 0700 hours on Monday. Determine the time shown on the clock when the correct time was 1900 hours on Wednesday the same week. So this is the 12-hour clock system, and we need to know the number of hours that were there from Monday at 0700 to Wednesday at 1900 hours. So just to simplify that, we can say this is the time the clock was set. That was on Monday. So it means on Tuesday at 7:00, from Monday, those are 24 hours, that up to Tuesday, these are 24 hours. Then from Tuesday, 7:00 to Wednesday, 00, those are another 24 hours. These are hours. Then if you from 7 to 19 the same day, it means that we can be able to get the hours here, and we say it is 1900. You minus 0700. This will give you 0, 0, 2. Those are 12. So it means at 1900 hours. This is time, 24-hour system. The same Wednesday, you have 12 hours. So if you total the number of hours, 24 plus 24 is 48, plus 12, you get 60 hours. Because she's losing 15 seconds every hour, it means for 60 hours, she'll lose, multiply by 15, this will be 900 seconds. So to convert this to minutes, you can divide by 60. You find this is 15 minutes. So it means if the correct time that was reading was 19, we subtract 1900 minus 15 seconds. It means this will give us 1845. That is 1900, you minus 15. This is 5, because we are dealing with hours. We borrow 1 here, this will be 60. 60 minus, we have borrowed here, get 5. Here we are left with 5. So we subtract 1, we get 4, 18, and there we get. So that's this is 8 hour. This means in 12-hour system, the time was 6:45. In 24-hour system, it is 18:45. So you should be able to know how to convert 24-hour system to 12-hour system like that. But that is how you work out that question. Question number 8. Given that sine x plus 20 degrees is equals to minus 0.7660, find x to the nearest degree for 0 less than or equals to x less than or equals to 360. Now, you get 3 marks. So if we are given that sine x is plus 20 is equals to minus 0.7666, if we use a unit circle, let's take a sample here. We divide into 4 parts. Then we have all trigs, we have arc, that's what we call arc. We find that in the first quadrant, all trig ratios are positive. Second quadrant, only sine is positive. Third quadrant, only tangent is positive. And fourth quadrant, only cosine is positive. So it means this angle here lies in this quadrant and in this quadrant because it is negative. So the first thing we need to do is to find what is the sine inverse of 0.7660, so that we'll be able to get these angles in the third and fourth quadrant. This angle here, will give us 49.99 degrees. So we say it is 50 degrees to the nearest degree. Then from there, to get the angle equivalent to this in the third quadrant, then we say x plus 20 is equals to this is 180 degrees plus 50, and it is also equals to, in the third quadrant, fourth quadrant, we get it is 360 minus 50, so that we get this angle here and this angle, which will represent the sign of minus, because our value here is minus. So you find that x plus 20 is equals to, when you add this, you get it is 230 degrees. So you find x is equals to, you take 20 to the other side, so it is 230 minus 20, and that will give you 210 degrees. The other one will say that x plus 20 is equals to, when you subtract here 360 minus 50, you will be able to get 310. So you take 20 to the other side, becomes negative, so x is equals to 310 minus 20, and these are degrees. That means our x is equals to 290 degrees. So it means the values that to satisfy x is equals to 210 and 290. Why? Because if you add 210, you add 20, you get 230. When you get the sign of 230, it will give you negative 0.7660. 290, you add 20, it will be 310. When you get the sign of 310, you get it is equals to negative 0.7666. So the knowledge being tested here is, do you know how to get the trig ratios of angles greater than 90? And we use a unit square to do that, so because it's the one that tells us which quadrant is a certain trig ratio is positive, is negative. So we are able now to compare the angles in the first quadrant with the other angles of the other quadrant. So that's how you do that question. I hope you have followed. If you haven't, you can check Form 3 topic, that is trigonometry 2. 2013 paper 1 question 4, evaluate. So we are given 22 minus 14 divided by 6 times minus 2 minus 4 squared times minus 6 minus 12 all over divided by 72 divided by a minus 8 times 3. So in the first fraction, this is minus and this is minus, so that changes to positive. So 22 plus 14, that will give you 36, divided by, you multiply 6 times minus 2, that will give you minus 12, minus 4 squared is 16. We can apply the board math. So you start with the multiplication. So 16 times minus 6, that will give you minus 96, minus 12. All this is divided. This we have division and multiplication. So we start with the division, and this is 72 divided by minus 8, that will give you minus 9, multiplied by 3. So that's the first step. So here we can divide by 36 by 12, you will get it is 3, and here you get minus 1, so there you will be left with minus 3, minus 96 minus 12, minus 96 minus 12 is minus 108. All this is divided by 9 times 27, 9 times 3, which is minus 27. From there, since this is negative, the numerator is negative, denominator is negative, negative divided by negative is positive. And then we can divide 108 by 27. You'll be able to get 4 and 27 you get 1. So this implies that we have minus 3 minus 4, which gives you minus 7. So that's how you work out that question. You get yourself 2 marks. Question number 10. Below, the figure below shows a net of solid measurements in centimeter. So we have the net here. Below is part of the sketch. So that diagram I've changed here. So it is not below but this one because of convenience of space. So it's part of the solid whose net is shown above. Complete the sketch of the solid showing the hidden edges of the line. So this is very simple. We can see we have been shown the part of the solid that is to be formed. And actually, if you look at this side, it is this side which has been turned up. So it means that if we turn up this side, then we will have that side will be like that. Then we open this one, we fold this one so that it lies here. That means that you have that is that. So we have the hidden line here of this part here. That is where we have 3. And then we fold this one upwards so it covers the back side of this solid. So that, and we have the other hidden part here. So this means that because this is taking this side, so the height here is 3 centimeter. This is 3, that is 3 centimeter, and this side is the one lying here, so it is 5 centimeter, the same as this one. This is 3 centimeter. So that is the solid that is to be formed by this net. So we can complete that the way we have done. So you did nets in form 1. So this should be very easy for you. You get 3 marks. This is like what we call free marks, because I don't expect you to fail to be able to form this kind of solid, or for given the net to form the solid required. So that's how you were supposed to work out that question. 2013 paper 1 number 11, we are told the interior angles of an octagon are 2x 0 degrees, a half x degrees, x plus 40 degrees, 110 degrees, 135 degrees, 160 degrees, 2x plus 10 degrees, and 85 degrees. Find the value of x and you get yourself 2 marks. So here we need to, first of all, an octagon is an 8-sided figure. So it is 8-sided. We need to know the total of the interior angles. So what we do is, since it's at 8-sided, we divide 360 degrees by 8. We get it is equals to 45. So that is the angle at the middle or the center, and it is equivalent to the exterior angle. So the interior angle is equals to 135 degrees. So once you know the interior angle, we multiply 135 degrees multiplied by 8. We should get the interior angle should be total to 10. That is equals to 1080 degrees. This means that when you add all the angles, you should get 1080. So we say this is 2x plus a half x, these are degrees, plus x plus 40, these are degrees, plus 110 plus 135 degrees plus 160 degrees plus 2x plus 10 degrees plus 185 degrees. So this gives you, when you add up all that, first of all we add the x's. So 2x plus x, that is 3x plus 2x, that's 5x, plus a half x, so that gives us a 5. So we this should give us, before we do that, should give us 1080. So we add the right terms, 2x plus x, that is 3x, plus 2x, 5x, plus a half x, that is 5.5x, plus, when you add 40 plus 110, plus 135 plus 160 plus 10 plus 185, you get 640 using your calculator. So this is equals to 1080. You subtract 640 from 1080, then you should get 5.5x is equals to 440. Divide both sides by 5.5, divide by 5.5. So once you divide like that, then you should be able to get 5.5 divided by 5.5 is 1. You get this, you get 80. So x is equals to 80. So 80 degrees. So that's how you work out that question. You get yourself 2 marks. 2013 paper 1 question 12. A straight line passes through point -2, 1 and 6, 3. Find the equation of the line in the form of y is equals to mx plus c. So to get the equation, we need to get the gradient, and we are going to use the 2 points to get the gradient. So the gradient of the line is equals to, we say it is 3 minus 1 divided by 6 minus 2, that will give us positive 2. So this is equals to 2 divided by 8, which is the same as 1 over 4. Now we have the gradient. We can now be able to get the equation. The equation will say, we take an imaginary point, so you say y minus 2 minus 1 divided by x minus 2, that will give us plus 2, is equals to 1 over 4. So we simplify that, and we will get y minus 1 is equals to quarter x, we cross multiply, then 2 times a quarter, that will give us a half. So it is plus a half. We take 1 to the other side to be positive, so y is equals to a quarter x, and then this will be positive, so this will be 1.5 or 3 over 2. So that is the equation of the line passing through those points. Part B, we are required to find the gradient of the line perpendicular to the line in A, and we know that 2 lines which are perpendicular, if you multiply their gradient, so we multiply by the gradient of the perpendicular line, gradient 2 should give us -1. So it means gradient 2 is equals to, we multiply by 4 both sides, -1 multiplied by 4 over 1 is equals to -4. So if you multiply -4 multiplied by a quarter, you get -1. So that is how you work out that question, and you get yourself 3 marks. This is question number 13. A triangle ABC is such that AB is equals to 5 centimeter, BC is equals to 6 centimeter, and AC is equals to 7 centimeter. Part A, calculate the size of angle ACB, correct to 2 decimal places. Then we have B, a perpendicular drawn from A meets BC at N. Calculate the length of AN, correct to 1 decimal place. The question is 4 marks. So for you to be able to work out this question, it is good that you make a sketch of the triangle. So this is a sketch that I'm going to use. So I'll label this is A, that is B, and that is C. So AB is 5 centimeter, BC is 6 centimeter, and AC is 7 centimeter. We have that information given. Part A, we are required to find angle ACB. ACB is this angle, which we can call theta. For you to be able to get this angle, given the three sides, you can apply the cosine rule. The cosine rule, what we do is, we have this is vertex A, we label the opposite side to be A, that is small a, this side to be B, and the side opposite to C is C, small c. So with that, for us to get this side that is C, the side opposite the angle C, we say that C squared is equals to this side, that is A squared plus B squared minus 2AB, the cosine of C, which we have said it is theta. Now you can rearrange this equation and this rule and make cosine theta the subject of the formula. So you can take this C squared to this side, and you take 2AB sine cosine theta to the other side. So we have 2, this will be 2AB, the cosine of theta is equals to, when C squared goes to the other side, becomes negative. So we have A squared plus B squared. Now we minus C squared. Let's divide both sides by 2AB to have a cosine of theta on one side, 2AB. So this means we can cancel that, divide that. So we have cosine of theta is equals to A squared plus B squared minus C squared divided by 2A. Now all this we have, so we just substitute. So we have the cosine of theta is equals to our A is 6 squared, our B is 7 squared plus 7 squared minus our C is 5 squared. You divide by 2, multiply by A. Our A is 6 and our B is 7. So you can use now your calculator, which you find this is 36 plus 49 minus 25. You divide by 7. This is 12 times 7 is 84. So when you divide that, you get it is equals to 60 divided by 84, which gives you when you divide that, you get it is 0.7143 using a calculator. That means the cosine of theta is this. So you get the cosine inverse of cos inverse of 0.7143. You get theta is equals to 44.42 degrees. Since you have a calculator, you are allowed to use a calculator to get that. Now with that, that is the answer for part A. So we go to part B. A perpendicular is drawn from AC from A to meet BC at N. Calculate the length of AN. So this is that perpendicular which we can drop here. Perpendicular means it makes an angle of 90 with BC, and therefore since we already have this side and this, we have the angle. We can just say the sine of we can use the sine of angle 44, which we have calculated 44.42 degrees is equals to, that is the sine of this angle is opposite. Our opposite is AN. You divide by the hypotenuse, which is 7. So it means AN is equals to 7, the sine of 44.42 degrees, which you can now use your calculator, and you'll be able to find AN is 4.9, and this is to 1 decimal place. So that is how you work out that, and you get 2 marks. So here you get 1 mark there, and 1 mark for the answer. Here you get 1 mark for the answer and 1 mark for the method. So that is how we work out that question. I hope you have followed. So when you are doing it in an exam room, you should be faster, because I'm just explaining how to go about it. And since you have your calculator with you, that is why it is necessary that you master how to use your calculator, so that in the exam room, you don't waste a lot of time. You don't do calculations manually, you use your calculator properly. Question number 14. A cylindrical pipe 2.5 meters long has an internal diameter of 21 millimeters and an external diameter of 35 millimeters. The density of material that makes the pipe is 1.25 grams per centimeter cube. Calculate the mass of the pipe in kilograms. You take pi to be 22/7. Now, we have the pipe here, so maybe it is important that you make a sketch so you can be able to see what is required for you. So let's assume that the pipe, so we have the internal and external diameter, so that's our pipe. So we need, so it is 2.5 meters. So we have this is we can call this is R, so let's call that is R, and the other one we call it the capital R. So to find the volume, first of all, we know that mass is equals to volume multiplied by density. Because we have a density is equals to mass over volume, so you cross multiply here to get the mass. So we need to get the volume of this, and the volume of this, because we have a hollow at the center, what we need is to get the volume of the material that makes the pipe. And to get the volume, we say it is a volume, so we say volume is it is equals to pi r squared. That is the volume of the area of the outer circle, you minus the area of the inner circle, so r squared. Let's correct that. So we have this is r squared, and you multiply by the height. So since we have been told that the internal diameter is 21 millimeters and the external is at 5 millimeters, and since our density is given in terms of centimeters, we need to convert this to centimeters. So we say that 5 millimeters you divide by 10, it is the same as 3.5 centimeter, and this is the diameter. So we divide by 2, so this implies that the radius of the external radius is 1. You get that is 1.75 centimeter. The same case applies to the inner diameter. So it is 2.1 divided by 2 is equals to, this implies that the radius, which is we have said we denote by a small r, is 1.05 centimeter, and therefore we can be able to get the volume. Here you can factor out pi. You say it is r minus r squared, this is squared, multiplied by height. So this is equals to 22/7, that is the pi, you into bracket, this will give you 1.75 squared minus the radius, small radius squared, 1.05 squared, across the bracket, and we are multiplying by height. The height is 2.5 meters, so to convert that to centimeters, you multiply by 100, which will give you 250 centimeter, and this will now be the centimeter cube. So you can now use your calculator to get the volume, and you get your volume when you use your calculator. It is 15 1540 centimeter cube using your calculator. Now you have the volume now, so what we need is the mass, and we have said mass is equals to, we had said mass is equals to volume times density. So this is 1540 or 1540 multiplied by, this is 1.25, that is the density given here. So you divide by, that is what will give you mass in grams. You divide by 1000 to get to convert that grams into kilograms, and now you are out to use your calculator. You get it, the mass is 1.925 kilograms. So that is how you work out that question, and you get yourself 4 marks. So that here you'll be okay. Let's say here you get 1 mark for this, 1 mark for this. That is 1 mark. Once you get that, you get another mark here. You'll be able to get another mark there for that formula, and finally you get a mark for the answer. So that's how the marks are distributed. I hope you have followed how to go about it. Question number 15. The figure below represents a pentagonal prism of length 12 centimeter. The cross section is a regular pentagon of side 5 centimeter. So we have our diagram here. Calculate the surface area of the prism. Correct to 4 significant figures. Well, for us to be able to do this, first of all, we are told it is a regular pentagon, it's a prism. So it means that we can divide this into triangles, the isosceles triangles, which are at the center, which coincide at the center. So it means we can be able to get this angle because we can divide 360, the whole of this angle. You divide by 5 triangles, that will give you 72 degrees. These are degrees. So it means this angle here is 72 degrees. Once we have that, because it is an isosceles triangle, we can get this angle here, and that will be 180 minus 72. You divide by 2, and that should give you 10. That is 108 divided by 2, which gives you 54. So this is angle 54. So what we need to do here is to get the area of one triangle, multiply by 5, multiply by 2 because of the other side, and that will be the area of the two sides. Then we calculate the area of each rectangle here, which is 5, width is 5, length is 12. We multiply by 5, and that will give us the surface area. So we need to drop a perpendicular here so that we are able to get the area of this triangle here, which we will say, if we call that is the height, so we can say the tangent of angle 54, this angle is the opposite, which is the height. You divide by the adjacent, and the base is 5, so this side is 2.5, half of it 2.5. This implies that h is equals to, that is the height of that triangle, is 2.5 multiplied by the tangent of 54 degrees. When you do that, you use your calculator. You should be able to get, this is 3.44. That is 2 decimal places. Now that we have the height, we can get the area of the triangle. So we say, in fact, we can combine the whole of this and say the surface area is equals to the area of one triangle. So we say it is a half, base is 5, times height, which we have found is 3.44. That is the area of one triangle. we multiply by 5, so that will give us the area of the 5, this side, the 5 triangles. We multiply by 2 because of the other side, so that will give us the area of the two sides which are pentagonal. Then we add the area of the sides which are triangles, rectangles rather, sorry. So it is 5 multiplied by 12. That is the area of one side, and because they are 5, we multiply by 5. So that will give you the surface area. Because you have a calculator, you can be able to do that. Let's say we can divide that 2 here. So you use your calculator, multiply 5 multiplied by 3.4, 4 multiplied by 5. When you do that, you should be able to get 86.02 using your calculator, plus you multiply this. This will give you 300. So it means the total is equals to 386.02. This is centimeter squared. And because we are told to express our answer to 4 significant figures, it means this is equals to 386.0 centimeter squared. So that is the surface area of this figure. Paper 1, number 16. Given the inequalities x minus 5 less than or equals to 3x minus 8 less than 2x minus 3, solve the inequalities. So we start with that, and to do that, we start with this part here, the two inequalities first. So we have minus 5, not minus 5, but we have x minus 5 less than or equals to 3x minus 8. In this case, you put the right terms together. So we can take x to the other side, it becomes minus once it crosses the equal sign, and we take x to the left hand side, it becomes positive. So 8 minus 5 less than or equals to 3x minus x. So this will give you 3 less than or equals to 2x. Divide by 2 both sides, 2. When you do that, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So our x now is greater than or equals to 1.5. After that, now you take the other side, you take these 2 again and you work on them. So you say 3x minus 8 less than 2x minus 3. We take this 2x to the left hand side, it becomes minus 2. So we have 3x minus 2x. We take 8 to the other side, it becomes positive. So it is less than 8 minus 3. So this will give us x less than, that is x less than, this is 5. So that is, we can now represent our x and say our x is less than 5 and greater than or equals 1.5. So that is part A. Part B represents the solution on a number line. So this is our range, and therefore x can be 1.5 because it is greater than or equals 1.5, but cannot be 5. So you draw your number line, and your number line is this. So this is your number line. Let's put that as a starting point. We have minus 1. We can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. You don't have to use a scale because you are just representing this range. So x can be 1.5. So what we do is we mark 1.5. 1.5, it is inclusive. So you shade a small circle there, and x cannot be, it is less than 5, so it's not exactly 5. So you use unshaded circle, and this is the range. This is how you represent that on a number line. So that is correct, and you get yourself 1 mark, the total of 3. 17. This is the first question in section 2, which consists of 8 questions. You are supposed to choose 5 out of 8. So each question is 10 marks. And when you are doing this, ensure that you go through all the 8 questions, mark the ones you can be able to work out to get maximum marks or full mark in each question, and then you start working on the questions that you have selected, depending on which area you are comfortable with. So this one says a farmer had 540 bags of maize, each having a mass of 120 kg. After drying the maize, the mass decreased in the ratio 15:16. Calculate the total mass lost after the maize was dried. So you can say this the number of bags were 540. You multiply by mass of 1 bag, which is 112, and when you multiply that, then you will be able to use your calculator. You'll be able to get 60,480 kg. So the ratio decreased from 15 to 16. You can calculate this. So you can say 60,480. Let's say this is supposed to be 80. You get 15 out of 16. Using your calculator, you'll be able to get that is equals to 56,700. So you can get the mass which was lost. You subtract from here, so you can say 56,700, and that will give you this is 0, this is 8, this is 7, and this is 3 kg. That is a mass loss after the maize was dried. But B, a trader bought and repacked the dried maize in 90 kg bags. He transported the maize in a lorry which could carry a maximum of 120 bags. Roman number 1, determine the number of trips the lorry bag. So you are supposed to find if the bag was 90 kg, how many bags are in this number of kg? That is 56,700. So you say 56,700. You divide by this, you can say it's a number of bags. So is equals to, you divide by 90. When you divide that, will give you 630 bags. And since the lorry could carry a maximum of 120, so you can get the number of trips is equals to, you say 630, you divide by 120. That should give you, using a calculator, you say it's 5.25 trips. So because the lorry cannot make half a trip, so you say these are approximately, will make 6 trips. Right. So we go to part B, Roman number 2. The buying price of 90 kg bag of maize was 1,500 Kenyan shillings. The trader paid 2,500 per trip to transport the maize to the market. He sold the maize and made a profit of 6%. Calculate the selling price of each bag. So we can be able to do that. We can say cost is equals to the trader has 630 bags. Each bag was costing 1,500, so that will be the cost, plus then paid 6 trips. Each trip is 2,500. So that will be the amount you would spend. So this would give you 945,000. And then you have plus this will give you 15,000. So this totaling to 960,000 Kenyan shillings. So selling price, if he has to make he made 26%, you would say selling price price is equals to the amount spent, that is 960,000. You multiply by, you divide by 100. This will be the cost. Then he made 126%, and you divide by the number of bags so that you get the cost per bag, 630. And when you compute that, you'll be able to get 1,920. This is Kenyan shillings. So that was a selling price if the trader made a profit of 26%. So you get that. So you'll be able to get 3 marks here for working out that, getting that, and getting that. Then you'll be able to get 3 marks here. So you should be able to get a mark there, a mark there, and a mark there. Then here you should be able to get 4 marks. So you get a mark there, you get a mark there, you get a mark there, and finally a mark there. So that totals up to 10 marks, and that is marks for these questions. So that's how you work out that question. I hope you have followed. So number 18, we are told solve the equation x plus 3 over 24 is equals to 1 over x minus 2. So what we need to do here is to cross multiply, and so we write x plus 3, and we cross multiply by x plus minus 2, rather. Minus 2 is equals 24 times 1 is 24. You open the bracket, you'll be able to get x squared minus 2x plus 3x, and then we have minus 6 is equals to 24. Put the right terms together. So this will give you x squared minus 2x plus 3x will give you plus x. Then you bring 24 to this side, becomes minus, so the minus 24 minus 6 becomes minus 30 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation, so we can write this quadratic equation, solve it by factorization method. So we can rewrite the equation x squared plus 6x minus 5x minus 30 is equals to 0. You look for two numbers such that when you add them, you get 1. That is 6 minus 5 is plus minus 5 is 1. 6 times minus 5 is minus 30. So this will give you the factors x into bracket x plus 6. Here you factor out minus 5, you get x minus plus 6, because when you open the bracket, you still get the same, you get 0. So you factor out x plus 6. This you'll be left with x minus 5 is equals to 0. So we say x plus 6 is equals to 0, or x minus 5 is equals to 0, implying when you take x to the other side, x is equals to minus 6, or we say we take minus 5 to the other side, becomes positive, x is equals to 5. I'm just following the whole process so that you understand. Otherwise, during the exam, you can skip some of the steps here. For example, you can write directly the factors here. From this x squared, you can get to this, and you solve it like that. So we go to part B. The length of a floor of a rectangular hole is 9 meters more than its width. The area of the floor is 136. Calculate the perimeter of the floor. Now, to be able to do that, I always say it is good to make a sketch of that, so that you can be able to see it properly. So we are told that the length is 9 meters longer than its width. So as we say, the width is x centimeter, the length is x plus 9. So the area is x multiplied by x plus 9, and we are given the area is 136. So we can say x plus 9 is equals to 136. That will give you the area. So you open the bracket, you'll be able to get x squared plus 9x. You bring 136 to this side, it becomes negative, so it will be 136 is equals to 0. It is a quadratic equation, and like I have said above here, we can just get to the factors x minus 8, and we have x plus 17 is equals to 0. If you are not able to get that, you can use 136. So you can say 136 to get the factors. So 2, you get 68. You get 2, you get 34. We still we need 2, we get 17. So you find this is 8 times 17. When you multiply, you get minus 136. So you can use minus 17 plus 17 and minus 8. So that is how we are getting that. So from there you get x is equals to, you take 8 minus 8 to the other side, you get 8, or x is equals to minus 17. But here we are talking of length, so length cannot be negative, so we ignore that and we say then this x is equals to 8. And since we are required to find the perimeter is equals to, you say it is 2 length times plus width. So it is already, we got our width is 8. So 8 plus you add 8 plus 9, you get 17. So this will give you 25. 25 you multiply by 2, you get 50 centimeters. So that is how you get the perimeter. Then we go to Roman number 2. A rectangular carpet is placed on the floor of the hall, leaving an area of 164 meters squared. If the length of the carpet is twice its width, determine the width of the carpet. It is good to make a sketch always to see what you are working on. So that is the room that we have. Let's say that is the carpet. So if we say the width of the carpet is A rather, and we are told it is the length is twice the width, so this is 2A. Now that we have been given the area, the area that has been left is this area, the one outside the carpet, is 64. So because we already know the area of the room is 136 meters squared, and the area left is 64, we can get the area of the carpet. So we say area of the carpet is equals to area of the room, which is 136, you minus area left by the carpet, which is 64, and this will give you 72 meters squared. If that is the area of the carpet, then we can say A multiplied by 2A, that is length times width of the carpet, is equals to 72. So we get 2A squared is equals to, we divide, we get 72, divide both sides by 2, you get A squared is equals to, here you get 36. So get the square root for both sides, you get A is equals to 6 meters, so which is we had defined as the length, as the width of the carpet. So that's how you work out that question. You are being tested whether you know how to apply the quadratic equations here in part B. Here you are tested whether also you can be able to solve a quadratic equation which you learned in form 2, quadratics 1, and equations and expressions 1, and quadratic expressions expressions as equation 2 in form 3. So that is the knowledge that you need to be able to work out that question. Number 19. A trader bought 2 cows and 9 goats for a total of 98,200. If she had bought 3 cows and 4 goats, she would have spent 2,200 res Kenyan shillings. So A, form two equations to represent the above information. What this means is that he bought 2 cows, 9 goats to that centered. So if he bought 3 cows and 4 goats, he would have spent 2,200 less. So we get the much he would have spent. So it is 98,200. You minus, we have 2,200. So this will give you 0, 0, 0. This will be 696. So he would have spent 96,000. So to form the two equation, you can say, let C represent the cow. So you can say 2C plus 9 goats, G for goats, is equals to 98,200. Then we have, if we had bought 3 cows, plus how many goats? 4 goats. The expenditure would have been 96,000. So that's how you form the two equations. Part B, we use the matrix method to determine the cost of a cow and a goat. So in Form 3, you have taught how to form matrix using linear equations. So here, using these two, we can form the matrix that is 2, 9, 3, 4. That's the matrix for the linear equation. Here we have C and G is equal to the matrix of the cost. That is 98,200 and 96,000. So that's how you form the matrix. So we need to get the value of C and G, and to get this we multiply by you can multiply both sides by the inverse of this matrix. To get the inverse, we need to get the determinant. The determinant is equals to, that is 2 times 4, that is 8. 8 minus 27. So this will give you minus 19. This implies that now you can get 1 divided by minus 19. We interchange the elements of the main diagonal. So here we have 4 and here we have 2. Introduce a minus sign to the other diagonal. That is minus 9 and minus 3. We multiply by 2, 9, 3, and 4. That is this matrix. And C and G. What we have done to the left hand side, we also do to the right hand side. So we have 1 over 19 into bracket 4 minus 9 minus 3, and we have 2. Then we multiply by 98,200, 96,000. So what we know from the matrix is, if we multiply the matrix by its inverse, we will be left by the identity matrix. So it means that here we will have C and G. Then we multiply, we can say this is 1 over minus 19. We multiply 4 multiply by 98,200. Plus minus 9 times 96,000. When you multiply that, you should get minus 471,200 using your calculator. You multiply minus 3 times 98,200 plus 2 times 96,000, and that will give you minus 102, and you have 600. You know how to multiply a matrix. So when you multiply by 19, you will be able to get C and G. So this will give you, when you do that using, so you multiply 1 over minus 19 multiply by minus 471,200. You should get me use a different color. You should get 24,800, and the other one you get 5,400. You use your calculator. So it means for the cow was going for 24,800. That is 8. Then we have goat was going for 5,400. So that's how you do that. So we go to part C. We have the traders later sold the animal. She had bought, making a profit of 30% per cow and 30 and 40% per goat. Calculate the total cost. So this means that looking at because the trader bought 2 cows, then it means it is 2. You multiply by 24 the cost of 1 cow, bought 2. This you divide by 100. You made a profit of 30% with the cow. Then you add 2. This is 9 goats. You multiply. You are given here. You multiply by the cost of 1 goat, which is 5,400. You divide by 100, and you multiply. Made a profit of 40. So you can cancel like that. Divide that by 100. Use your calculator to multiply 2 times 248 times 30, and that should give you 64,480. And the other one you get 68,040. When you add the 2, use your calculator, you get it is 132,520. This is Kenyan shillings. So that's how you get that. Roman number 2, determine the correct to solve it for significant figures, the percentage profit the trader made from the sale of animal. So you can see this is the amount of money the trader got, and he spent 98,200. So you can get the profit. So you can say profit percentage is equals to the amount he got after selling the goods, that is 132,520, minus the amount he bought the animals, and that should give you 90. Let's correct that. 98,200. This is that will give you the profit. So this was you divide by the amount he spent, which is 98,200, and you multiply by 100. So you can use your calculator to compute that. You get it is at 4.9 on your calculator. There are many decimals, so but we are told to force significant figures, so we say it is 34.95%. So that is a percentage profit that the trader made by selling the animals later on. So that's how you go about that. So if you follow the right procedure, the way we have done it, then you should be able to do that. You've learned in Form 3 how to solve a linear equation using the matrix method, and that is what is expected of you to apply that knowledge. So I hope you have followed that, and thank you for watching. So here we have question number 20. 2 towns A and B are 80 kilometers apart. Juma started cycling from town A to town B at 10 a.m. at an average speed of 40 kilometers per hour. Mutuku started his journey from town B to town A at 10:30 a.m. and traveled by car at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, so A, calculate, Roman number 1, the distance from town A when Juma and Mutuku met. You get 5 marks. So normally when I'm solving this kind of a question, I normally like to make a sketch. So let's say this is a distance from A. We have this is our A, town A, and this is town B. So from the information given, we start with the Juma. So Juma started at A and started the journey at 10 a.m. and was moving at a speed of 40 kilometers per hour. So we have this is Mutuku started at 10:30 a.m. and was moving at 60 kilometers per hour using a car. We are told the distance from A to B is 80 kilometers. So when you have it displayed like that, it is easier for you to be able to get to work out what is required. So you can see here, Juma started earlier, that is at 10, 30 minutes earlier than Mutuku. So it means at 10:30, Juma had covered a certain distance, which we can say be able to calculate. That is 30 minutes. So we say distance is equals to speed multiplied by time. The speed of Juma was 40 kilometers per hour. Time is half an hour, so just half an hour, and that will give you 20 kilometers. So it means, but by the time Mutuku was starting the journey, Juma had already covered 20 kilometers. And you see now, the distance from A to B is 80 kilometers as we are told. So we have 60 now remaining. So let's say they met at point M. So it means that if we say that is our X, that is from this point here to where they met, then this means that this will be 60 minus X. Then the other very important concept here is the time that Juma took from this point, that is after 20 kilometers, to the meeting point is the same time Mutuku took from B to the meeting time. That is very important when you are solving this kind of question. So we say, how do we get time? We normally say time is equals to distance over speed. So it means since the distance covered by Juma is x to the where they met, you divide by speed, which is 40. It is the same as the distance covered by Mutuku, that is 60 minus x. You divide by the speed, which was 60 kilometers. So once you get x, then you'll be able to work it out. So here you say cross multiply. So this implies that 60 multiplied by x, that will give you 60x is equals to 40 multiplied by 60, that will give you 2,400. You minus this is what? This is 40x. So you take 40x to this side, becomes positive. So we have 100x is equals to this is 2,400 divided by 100x is equals to 24. So to the meeting point, which is M, and Juma had covered 20, so it means they met at 40 plus that is 20 plus 24, that will give you 44 kilometers. So this means this is 20 plus 24, that will give you 20 kilometers. So let's go to part Roman number 2. Roman number 2, we are told the time, to calculate the time of the day when the two met. So the time they met at M. We need to find, for us to get time, we say time is equals to distance over speed. You can work it in two ways. You can find the time Juma took from A to M because we know the distance is 44, 20 plus 24, and we divide by the speed. Once you get that time, you add to 10:30, that is 10 a.m. Alternatively, you can get the distance covered by Mutuku, which is 60 minus 24, or 80 minus 44, which will give you 36. And you divide by the speed of Juma, then you add to 10:30. So, but okay, I'll just use one. I use Juma. Juma had covered 44 kilometers. You divide by the speed, which is was traveling at 40 kilometers per hour. So when you divide this, you get this is 11 over 10. This will give you 1.1 hours. 1.1 hours, this means it is equals to, if you divide by, that is, you get in 0.1, so this means it is 1 hour. Then we have 0.1 of 60, so 60 multiplied by 0.1, that will give you 6. So it is 1 hour 6 minutes. So this is the time that Juma took up to the time they met. So it means since Juma had started at 10 a.m., they took 1 hour 6 minutes. So 6 minutes. So you add, you get 6, you get 0, you get 11. So they met at 11 a.m. That is when they met with Mutuku. So we go to part B. Kamau started cycling from town A to town B at 10:21. He met Mutuku at the same time as Juma did. Determine Kamau's speed. How do we calculate the speed? Speed is equals to distance over time. So this means that by the time Kamau met Juma, or met Mutuku, at the same point where Juma met Mutuku, he had covered 44 kilometers. You divide by since Kamau met Mutuku at the same time as Juma, and Kamau started at 10:30, so you can say the time they met, that is 10:30, they met at 11:06 a.m. Kamau started at 10:21. So you can get the time Kamau took to cover that 44 kilometers. So this is 5, 6 minus 1. This is, we borrow 1 here. So we have 6 here. So here it is 4. Remember, when you are subtracting time, when you borrow 1, you get 60 minutes. So you add here. So these are 66 minutes. So here it is 0. So this means 45 minutes. 45 minutes in terms of hours, it is the same as 3/4 of an hour. So this is equals to, you can say it is 44. You multiply by 4 divided by 3, which will give you, you use your calculator, you get, this is 176. You divide by 3, and this will give you 58 kilometers 2/3, or you can say 58.6 kilometers per hour. Kilometers, because we are looking for speed, kilometers per hour. But when you use decimal, remember you have approximated or rounded off or written in there. So this is the exact speed. So that is how you work out that, and you'll be able to get the 3 marks here. So for that, that is for the formula, getting the correct time, that will give you for the 3 marks. Here you get the time there, and working out this, that will give you a mark. Here you get 5 marks for getting the speed, that speed, working on that, and finally getting the answer. So that is how you work such kind of problem. Remember, here you need to be very logical, especially here. This diagram normally will assist you a lot, because you'll be able to see what is happening to the operations taking place. So that's how you do that. Thank you for watching. So question number 21. The displacement S meters of a moving particle from a point O after t seconds is given by S is equals to t cubed minus 5t squared plus 3t plus 10. A. Find S when t is equals to 2. So with that, since we have already been given the expression S, we just replace with our t with 2. So we have 2 cubed minus 5 times 2 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 10. And when you compute that, you get that is 8 minus 20 plus 6, and then we have plus 10, and that should give you 4, that is 4 meters. That should give you 4 meters. Part B, we are told determine the velocity of the particle when t is equals to 5. So how do we get the velocity? Velocity, so that is part B, Roman number 1. Velocity is equals to differentiate s with respect to t, and that should give you 3t squared, that is plus minus 10t, and then we have plus 3. So at t is equals to 5, you just replace and you find our v is equals to that is 3 times 5 squared minus 5 times 10 plus 3, and when you compute that, you should get 28 meters per second. So that is the velocity. Then we have part Roman number 2, which we are told the value of t when the particle is momentarily at rest. So at rest, it means that dv over dt, that is dv over dt is equals to 0, and therefore that is the velocity, and this should be ds. So that is ds, so it means 3t squared minus 10t, then we have plus 3 is equals to 0. This is a quadratic equation, and when you factor out, you get 3t, then we have minus 1, and you have t minus 3, implying that t is equals to a third, or t is equals to 3. T is equals to 3, not 0. So t is equals to 3. And finally, we are told find the time, the time when the velocity of the particle is maximum. So at maximum, it means dv over dt is equals to 0, and therefore this is acceleration. And when you differentiate velocity, then you should be able to get 60 minus 10, that is, you differentiate, this will give you 2 times 3 is 6, and t minus 10. So if this is equals to 0 at maximum, then it means 60 is equals to 10, implying that t is equals to 10 over 6, which is equals to 1, and that is 2 over 3. So that's how you work out that question, and you get yourself 8, 10 marks. Question number 22. In the figure below, OABC is a trapezium. AB is parallel to OC, and OC is equals to 5AB. So we have our trapezium here, OABC. So we are told this is OC is 5 times AB. D is a point on OC, so we have a point D such that OD is to DC is 3 is to 2. So we have this is, we can put this information here. This is 3 and this is 2. Actually, we can say this is 3Q and this is 2Q, because OC is 5 times AB and AB is Q. So this is vector, and it is important that you put the necessary importance on your figure, so that when it comes to working out, you'll be able to see that. So part A, given that OA is equals to P, so we have OA. AB is equals to Q, we have AB, expressed in terms of P and Q, OB. So this is our OB. And to describe OB is to describe an alternative route to move from O to B. So we can follow OC to CB. That is one way. We can follow OX that is, we can follow OA and AB. So looking at the two ways, to move from O to A and then to A to B is shorter compared to the other one. And we are able, that will enable us to express in terms of P and Q, because already vector OA is labeled P and AB is labeled Q. So that is how you argue about that. So OB is, we can say it is the same as OA plus AB. And what is our OA? It is P. Actually, we can show the direction of that vector O. So we say it is P plus Q. To differentiate the vectors, we use this symbol, although it's not a must, but it is good so that you can be able to differentiate between a vector and a scalar. Then we come to AD. What is our AD? So our AD is this. So to move from A to D, we use the shortest route, which is AO plus OD. But you find that now we'll be moving against the vector OA, because the direction of OA is this way. So we can say this is equals to, so instead of writing AO, we say it is minus OA plus OD, which is equals to OA is P, so minus OA is minus P plus OD is 3Q, which is equals to, we can write it properly and say this is 3Q minus P. Although it's not a must that you put all this, but I'm just doing that so that you can be able to understand how I'm getting my final vector. So we go to CB. Where is our CB? This is our C and B. So it is to move from C to B. So we can move from C to O and O to B. So you find that we'll be moving against the direction of the vector OC. So we can say this is equals to minus OC. Then we add to OB. So this is equals to, OC is the same as 5, we can say it is 5Q, so it is minus 5Q. OB, we already express it up here, so we can say it is plus P plus Q. So you can put the right terms together, so minus 5 Q plus Q, that will give us minus 4Q. So we can write, we start with P and we say P minus 4Q. So that's how you get the vector CB. So that's how, and then you make sure that when you are answering this kind of question, this part is very important, because if you don't get the correct expressions here, you are not likely to work out part B properly, and they are normally like that. Part B of this question, we are told lines OB and AD intersect at X. So this is our OB and this is our AD, they intersect at X. Such that AX is equals to KAD and OX is equals to ROB, where K and R are scalars or constant in that case. Determine the values of K and R. So to be able to do this, okay, let's first of all put the necessary information. We are told AX is equals KAD. So we can put our K here, and this is 1 minus K. That is to say, AX is a fraction of AD. So if we say, for example, K is a third, then this will be 1 minus a third, which is 2 thirds. That's just an example. And then we have ROB is R. So AX is equals, OX is equals to R. And here we have 1 minus R. So with that information, the trick here to be able to work out this is to express vector OX in two ways. We can express OX as a fraction of OB, that is in terms of R, and we can also use OX and AX. So let's do that. Let's start with the OB. That is, we say OX is equals to it is a fraction of OB as we are given here. But already we had expressed our OB here, and that is why I mentioned that if you mess up this part, you are likely to get 0 in this question. So we replace OB in terms of P and Q. So we say this is R, we put the bracket, P and plus Q. Again, I said these symbols we use to differentiate scalars and vectors. So you can see here we have R is a scalar and P is a vector. So we can open the bracket here and say this is R, P, a vector, and then plus R, Q, a vector. So we can leave that one like that. Again, we come now to, let's say, OX again. We can say it is equals to, follow this route, OA. So it is OA plus, can still use that symbol, plus AX. So we already know that OA is P, so we can replace that with P, plus AX is a fraction, KOAD, but we already have AD here. So we say it is K, we replace AD with that is 3Q minus P, and we can come here and say this is equals to P, this is a vector, plus this, you open the bracket, it will be 3K Q, and then we have here we have a bracket, we have minus, here we have K and P. So we can put the right terms together, that is P and P, and here we say it is 1 minus K, or this P. When you open the bracket, you still get this, then plus 3K Q. So we have managed to express AX in two ways. That is, this is OX and this is OX. So we can actually equate these two and say, since with this they represent the same vector, we say RP, which is a vector, plus RQ, a vector, is the same as this vector, which is 1 minus K, close the bracket, we have that is our P, then we have plus 3K vector Q. The two vectors are the same. This means that R is, we can equate R, which is a constant, to 1 minus K, and we can say R is equals to 3K. So we can start with, let's say we have R is equals to 3K. All right, so that's correct, because they are the scalars or constants of Q. And then we say we have this is that is we have used Q. Then R, we also say R is equals to 1 minus K. And since we already know R is 3K, so we can say 3K, this is 3K is equals to 1 minus K. Let's take this 3 to this side. We get 4K, it becomes positive, is equals to 1. This implies that K is equals to 1, divide both by 4. By 4 you get K is a quarter. And since R is equals to 3K, so we say R is equals to 3K, so we say it is 3, you multiply by 1 over 4, which is K, you get R is equals to 3 over 4. So that is how you get the values. So we have managed to get the values of K and R. So you get marks for that. You get marks for equating that. You get marks for equating OX in two ways. So that's how you work out that question. I hope it is clear. And if you are very careful with part section A, and then you are able to express OX in two ways, or the vector required, then this one will be, you can practice on questions on that. If you have, you still get problems, you can check on my topic, which I have covered. that is vectors 2, which you covered in Form 3, and you'll be able to answer these questions correctly. So thank you for watching. Question number 23. A. On the grid provided, draw the square whose vertices are A 6 minus 2, B 7 minus 2, C 7 minus 1, and D 6 minus 1. So we have B. So we have our grid here. You should be able to label your axis and plot the square given the vertices. So B, on the same grid, draw ABCD prime, the image of ABCD under enlargement scale factor 3. Our center of rotation is 9 minus 4. We have Roman number 2, ABCD double prime, the image of ABCD prime under a reflection in the line x is equals to 0. Roman number 3, ABCD triple prime, the image of ABCD double prime under a reflection of 90 degrees, positive 90 degrees, about 0, 0. And C, describe a single transformation that maps ABCD prime onto ABCD triple prime. Now, here you are being tested. For example, B, you are being tested whether you know how to do the enlargement. And given the scale factor, what we normally do is we draw a line from the center of rotation to where we have our object. We extend it. The length from the center of the enlargement to the object is you multiply by the scale factor to get the position of the image. So that's how you do the enlargement. This one, Roman number 2, it's about reflection. What do we follow, or what are the properties that we use to do a reflection? 1, the line joining the object and the image is perpendicular to the mirror line. And the distance from the object to the mirror line is equals to the distance from the mirror line to the image. So that is very important. Roman number 3 is about rotation. Rotation, the positive 90, it means it is anti-clockwise direction. That's how we describe rotation. That is positive rotation. Negative rotation is clockwise direction. So very important. And then another thing we need to note here is that the coordinates of when you are rotating through angle 90, we can be able to get the image by interchanging the coordinates of whatever we are rotating. We are going to see that. Then C, you compare the two rotations, the two images or objects, and see whether you can come up with a single transformation. So because of space, I'm going to use another board that is going to give us a bigger Cartesian plane to be able to do that. But those are the properties that we are going to follow. So we are going to start with enlargement, linear scale factor 3, and we have a center of rotation is 9 minus 4. I'm going to use this, I've just used enlarge the grid so that it can be visible. So we have our axis. So here we have, you can say this is 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we can say that is our x-axis. The other side we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 5. We have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5, 6, 7. This is our y-axis. And we have minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4. So our square, we are told it is at 6 minus 2. That is A is there. Our B is 7 minus 2. This is our B. Our C is 7 minus 1. So that's our C. and this is our D6 minus 1. So what we do is we join the 4 points. So this is what we get. That is what we get. That's not very good. So we get, let's try this. We draw that. So let me join the points and come up with a square. So this is the square that you come up with. Now we go to part B. Part B, like we saw, okay, let's go back to the question and see what is required. Part B, we are told on the same grid to draw ABCD prime, the image of ABCD and an enlargement scale factor 3 and center 9, 4. So we are going to do that. We enlarge our diagram, scale factor 3 and center of rotation, or center of enlargement 9 minus 4. So let's do that. So we have seen that the center of rotation is at its enlargement is 9 minus 4, and scale factor is equals to 3. So what you do, okay, first of all, this is where we identify as the center of enlargement. So you draw a line from the center of enlargement. We can say center of enlargement. You draw a line from there, passing each and every point. So you start from A, that is where we have our line there. You can take your compass or divider and you measure 3 equal distance, that is from here to here. That is one, another one, and another one, and your A will run there. So that is where we have our A prime. Again, you draw a line from the center of enlargement through B, and it will pass that somewhere there, and you measure equal distance from here to here. You measure 2, 3, and your B prime will land there. Then you do the same to C, so that line will pass through there, and that will pass about to pass through there. You measure, that is 1, 2, 3. So that will be the position of C prime, and you repeat the same with the point D. Where is our point D? It will pass there. I think here this is supposed to be a D, so our D prime will be there. So you join the 4 points, you come up with a square that has been enlarged. But Roman number 2, ABCD prime, the image of ABCD and a refraction in the line x is equals to 0. So we reflect what we have enlarged, where the mirror line is x is equals to 0. So let's do that. So this is we have to say this is B Roman number 1. We have Roman number 2. We are refracting, so this is enlargement. This is a refraction. So the mirror line here is x is equals to 0. So x is equals to 0 is this point. So when you refract A, it will be on the same position. So our A double prime will be the same position, because the mirror line x is equals to 0 is actually the y-axis. When you refract B, we can say it is 3 units on the positive. So B prime will be 1, 2, 3 on the opposite. So we have B double prime. D will remain the same position. So we have D because it lies on the mirror line. C will be 3 units on the negative side. So because the distance from the object to the mirror line is equal to the distance from the mirror line to the object. So our C double prime will be there. And from there, we can now join the 4 points and come up with triangle or the square that has been enlarged. So we have we join that point, those points. We join another one here, and we join another one here, and this one here. So they are sharing, AD is shared between the two triangles, and that is how you get now the second image. So we go back to the question and see what to do next. So Roman number 3, ABCD triple prime is the image of ABC double prime under a rotation of positive 90 degrees about 0, 0. So we are going to rotate our second image through positive 90 about 0, 0. So like I had mentioned, this is the positive rotation when we are rotating through the anti-clockwise, and this is a negative rotation when we are rotating clockwise. So we are rotating, so we have the third one is rotation, that is Roman number 3. We have the center of rotation is 0, 0. The angle of rotation is positive 90 degrees. So when we are rotating through an angle of 90, we interchange, we can get the image by interchanging the x and y coordinates. For example, A is at 0, 2, so A will be, we'll get our A here. So this is our A, it will be minus 2, 0. B, we are rotating this, B is at 3, 2, so it will be, y will be 3, and x will be 2. So this is where we have our B triple prime. Our C is at minus 3, 5, so it will be minus 5, 3. So this is where we have our C triple prime. Our D is at 0, 5, so it will be 5, 0. So this is where we have our D triple prime. Then from there, we can join the 4 points and come up with the square that is required, that is here, where we have identified our point. So you use a ruler and you join the 4 points, you come up with our square. That is the third image. So that is the third image. So that is how you get that image. Let's see how the part C of the question. So part C, describe a single transformation that maps ABCD prime onto ABCD triple prime. So what you do in this part is you look at this image. This should be the first image. This is the third image, and see how you can relate them. How can you get this? How can you get the third image directly from the first image? So let's do that. So we are supposed to relate ABCD prime. That is our first image. This is the first image, and this is our third image. This is our second image. How do you get this image from directly, the third image from the first one? And if you look at this, it is kind of, it's a reflection, looking at A and A, B and B. And the reflection is through the line. You can see from A to A, the midpoint. You can draw a line passing through that point. So that's a line connecting. So we can say the midpoint of this, you can get also the line joining A and B. So you can see the midpoint of that line is the midpoint of that line. So we can say this is you can get the third image, ABCD triple prime, from the first image by reflecting this image through the line y is equals to the line passing here. So this is the line passing here. You can draw that line at the middle. This is the line. We can say this is the line y is equals to minus x. You have dealt with this line for so many times. So you can say, part C you can answer, you can get at it through a reflection through y is equals to minus x. And that is how you answer that question. I hope you have followed. A very easy question. As long as you follow the properties that we have learned in, this is in transformation. You know how to enlarge. When you are enlarging, you are given the center of enlargement, the linear scale factor or enlargement scale factor. So it is, for example, this is 3. So you know the distance from the center of rotation, enlargement, to the object is you multiply by the number, the enlargement factor. So this will be 3 times. So then you should be comfortable using your geometrical set. The second one is a reflection. We know the properties of a reflection. The line joining the object and the image is perpendicular to the mirror line. So if you draw a line that is perpendicular to the mirror line, it will lead you to where the image is. Now, when you get that, the distance from the object to the image, to the mirror line, is equals to the distance from the mirror line to the image. So that way you can be able to locate the image. Then we have rotation. We have, note that when we are rotating through anti-clockwise, that is referred to as positive rotation. This is negative rotation, that is clockwise. Then in Form 2, you are also taught how you can be able to get the rotated point. If you are rotating through angle positive 90, negative 90, I think 180, positive, negative 180, such. But however, if you are not able to do that, you can still get, since we are rotating this, you draw a line to the center of rotation. You measure the angle of that is join a line from the object to the center of rotation, measure the angle of rotation, which is 90. You still get the position of A. Repeat with all the other points and you'll be able to get the image. So that is how we do such kind of question. It has taken long, but when you're using the geometrical set instrument, then that should be easy for you, because I'm changing from the question to where we are doing our diagrams. That is why it has taken us a bit of time. Question number 24. The figure below represents a cone of height 12 centimeter and a base of 9 centimeter, from which a similar smaller cone is removed, leaving a conical hole of height 4 centimeter. So we have our diagram here. The height is given 12 centimeter. The height of the small cone that was removed is 4 centimeter. We have the radius of the big cone, which is 9. So calculate A, Roman number 1, the base of the conical hole. That is the base of this distance here, the radius of the base of the small cone. Roman number 2, the volume in terms of pi of the smaller cone that was removed. There you get 2 marks. B, Roman number 1, determine the slant height of the original cone. You get 1 mark. Roman number 2, calculate in terms of pi the surface area of the remaining solid after the smaller cone was removed. So we have, there you get 5 marks. So this question is from similarity and enlargement. That is a knowledge that you should apply to be able to work out this question, which you learned in Form 2. Remember, questions in Paper 1 are mostly from Form 1 and Form 2, but you can get some question getting into Form 3 and 4, and these are topics which maybe you have done the basic in Form 1 and 2, or Form 2, and then there is an advance of that in Form 3 or Form 4. So to do this, let's start with A, base radius of the conical hole. So this is actually the radius that we want to get. And in similarity enlargement, we can say that the whole of this cone, the big cone, is similar, as we are told they are similar. And when the objects are similar, the ratio of corresponding sides gives you a constant. That means if we have if we say this is let's say this is the radius of the big cone, we give it r, and this let be this r. That if we give the that is, if we start with the small r, we can start with the small r, and we say it is that is the big R, the radius of the big cone, is equals to, we use the height, the corresponding height. So the height here is 4, and the height of the small cone, and the height of the big cone is 12. So we already have that. So that is possibly, just to be consistent, we can say this is our height divided by this is our height. So this is our big H, this is our small height, and therefore this becomes very simple, because what we are looking for is r. You divide by the radius of the big cone, which is 9 centimeter, is equals to the height of the small cone is 4. You divide by the height of the big cone is 12. So that you can make, this implies that r, the radius of the small cone, is 4 divided by 12, and you multiply by 9. So that's how you do that. So you can simplify here. You divide by 4, you get 1. This is 3. Divide by 3, and that will give you 3, is equals to 3 centimeters. So that is the radius of the small cone. It is important to note that if you start with, we can start with capital R, you divide by small r, and you get a capital H here, divide by the small h. It is still give you a constant, as long as the corresponding size of the big cone and the small cone, you arrange them properly. So that is how you get that mark. So we go to question number, Roman number. The volume in terms of pi of the smaller cone that was removed. So how do we get the volume of the cone? A cone is a form of a prism, and to get the volume of a prism, we say it is that base area multiplied by the height. It is a prism with a circular base. So this is equals to, we have this information, so it is that you multiply by the base area. The base is circular, so it is pi r squared, and r we have found it is 3, so it is 3 multiplied by 3, that is r squared, and you multiply by the height. Our height here we have been given, it is 4. Already we have it there, so we can divide 3 by 3, you get 1. You multiply 4 times 3, that will give you 12 pi. So that is the volume in terms of pi of the small cone that was removed. So that you get 2 marks. You get 1 mark for getting using the correct formula, and 1 mark for the answer. Then part B, we are to determine the slant height of the original cone. So the height of the original cone, that is the slanting side, is actually this side here, which we can say we can form, if we draw a line here coming to the center, and another one here, and then we have this one. So it is a right angle, it will form a right angle triangle. So this is our L here. So this is a right angle, and we have this is 9 already given, and this is 12, the same height here. So you can use the Pythagoras theorem and say L is equals to, we say it is the square root of 12 squared, Pythagoras theorem, plus 9 squared. So this is equals to, you get this is this is 144 plus 81, and when you add up this using your calculator, or you just do it manually, you get it is square root of 225, and the square root of 225 is 15. So it means the slanting side is 15 centimeter, and there you get 1 mark. Just okay, I've just because you can be able to work it offhand. That is the square root of 12 divided plus 9 squared square root. So that's why you are being awarded 1 mark. But I've just used that wrong method to show you how we are arriving to the slanting side, in case you get confused. So part 2, we are told calculate in terms of pi the surface area of the remaining solid after the smaller cone was removed. So how do we get the surface area of a cone? The surface area of a cone, we can say surface area is gotten by getting the pi, that is RL. So what this means that to get the surface area, we will get the surface area of the, so that will give us the surface area of the big cone, that is the curved part. We can add to the base. The base is pi r squared, but we have the inner circle that was removed, so it means we can get pi, the remaining side, which is part, that is the circular part with the inner circle removed, pi r squared minus r squared. That will give you the surface area plus the surface area of the small cone, which is pi. Now we use a small r and a small l. So that is equals to, this is pi, the multiplied by 9 multiplied by 15. Then we add 2 pi. This will give you 9 squared minus 3 squared. Then we have plus the small cone, the curved part of the small cone. Pi, the radius is, we multiply by the radius, which is, we got it is 3 in part A, and you multiply by the slanting side. Now to get the slanting side, we still use the Pythagoras theorem, since we have the 4 here, which is the height and the radius. So we say small that is the slanting side of the small cone, is the square root of 4 squared plus 3 squared. This is equals to square root of 16 plus 9, which is the square root of 25, is equals to 5. So that means we multiply here by 5. That is the slanting side. And this you'll be able to get, this is equals to, when you multiply this, is will give you, you use your calculator, that okay, you can factor out pi outside, so you get this is you get this is 135, then you get plus this is 81 minus 9, that will give you 72, plus this will be 15, 5 times 3. So this you'll be able to get, it is equals to, when you add up that, you get it is 222 pi. So that is and we are calculating the surface area. So this means it is centimeter squared. So that is how you work out that, and there you get 5 marks. So you get 5 marks for applying the formula. Here you get 2 marks for multiplication and combining there. You get a mark for the answer. so those add up to 5 marks. So that's how you work out that. And so you can see it is a very simple question. As long as you remember what you learned in similarity and enlargement, and the basic of this is the ratio of the corresponding sides gives you a constant. So with that, you should be able to work out this question. Then I think the only knowledge you add here is the Pythagoras theorem, which I think that you learned even in primary. Then of course you need to master the formulas. For example, the formula of finding the volume of a cone that you learned in Form 2. So it combines that, and also the surface area, the formula for finding the surface area. And that's all what you need to be able to get 10 marks out of 10 in this question. So I hope you have followed, and next time you encounter such kind of a question, I hope you'll be able to do that. So thank you for watching.